Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Mr. SLIN and welcome to Team Fortress 2 Newbie, Episode 2, Viewmodels On or Viewmodels Off. People always ask me on my stream, SLIN, why is your gun invisible? How come I can't see your gun? And it's a question that I receive so frequently that my viewers will now usually answer that question on my behalf because I get it so often. And as easy as it would be to give you a half-assed answer, today I will give you the full answer as to why you would want to turn your Viewmodels off and which classes it is best suited for. You'll come out of this video with a better understanding of the Viewmodel dilemma and be able to explain it to your friends so that people will stop asking me this question on my stream. Sorry. So I'm going to start this video by stating the obvious, which is that yes, my gun is actually invisible, but only to me. In your advanced options, you can uncheck a box called Draw Viewmodels, and this will actually hide your viewmodel so that you can no longer see it. After showing you this, you'll naturally ask, so should I turn them on or off? Like, which one is better? And the thing is, the problem isn't so easy to solve where I could just tell you, always turn your viewmodels off or always keep your viewmodels on. It really depends on the class that you're playing and which weapon you're using. Preference also plays a huge role in this. However, when I'm in a situation like this, I usually look to what the pro players are doing. And believe it or not, most pro players play with their viewmodels off. And you might think it looks ugly, and yes, you might even think that it looks weird, but being a pro player has nothing to do with being ugly or weird. No, being a pro player has everything to do with what is optimal and what is best for your performance. See, the problem with Viewmodels is that it covers a huge portion of your screen. If you're using Viewmodel FOV 90, you can see how a viewmodel covers up a section of your view that you simply cannot see behind. The problem is even worse if you're a default user scrub who is still using Viewmodel FOV 54. Please do not play with Viewmodel FOV 54. Like, I don't understand how anyone could play TF2 properly with this huge thing covering your screen. And the thing is, theoretically speaking, the viewmodel doesn't really serve any purpose other than to help immerse you in the game and give you some perspective so that you know where your feet are. In other words, if you're a casual role player, you'll love the viewmodel. If you're a competitive player who is looking for ways to improve his awareness, you'll remove the viewmodel so that you can see more of your screen. Another downside to the viewmodel is the firing animation. This is particularly distracting on a class like Scout, where when you fire your scatter gun, the viewmodel freaks out and has a spasm in the middle of your screen. I have no idea how anyone can properly track another player while this thing is flipping out. Like, when you shoot, I feel like the screen jolt is bad enough, but if you add this thing, it's just so much worse. So, we've established that the viewmodel has its downsides, but some pro players still choose to use it. Why? Well, the best way to explain it is that the viewmodels can actually help give you perspective, and this may assist you with your aiming. See, some players use the viewmodel to help them line up their shots, especially when using projectile weapons. In Team Fortress 2, hit scan weapons instantly hit the target as soon as you click, which means that you should put your crosshair directly on the target, and the viewmodel for these weapons ends up hurting you more than it helps you. But with projectiles, most projectiles actually don't fire out of the center of your screen, but instead fire from off to the side, so using a viewmodel can actually help you to line up that shot. Generally speaking, most pro players choose to hide their viewmodels on hit scan weapons, and may choose to show their weapons on projectile weapons. It is for this reason that some pro players choose to use viewmodels on classes like Soldier and Demo Man, but not on Scout, Medic, and Sniper. So what percentage of pro players choose to hide viewmodels on specific classes? Anecdotally speaking, 99.999% of scouts playing at the highest levels of TF2 hide their viewmodels. About 50% of soldiers hide their viewmodels, 50% of demomen hide their viewmodels, 99% of medics hide their viewmodels, 99% of snipers, heavies, engineers will hide their viewmodels, and then pyros and spies are a different case altogether because with spies it's hard to tell if you're invisible or not without looking at your viewmodel, and with pyros, some pyros like to use the viewmodels to help with air blasting, but generally speaking, if you're a hit scan class, do not use viewmodels. If you're a projectile class, it's your call, 50-50, it just kind of comes down to preference. One more thing, 99.999% of pro players turn their viewmodels on for melee. The thing is, because the melee swing timings can be a bit tricky, viewmodels are really helpful for getting your swing timings down on your melee weapons. Okay, so how do you use this information? Well, if you're playing a hit scan class, you're pretty much required to use their viewmodels. I'm not giving you this option. You should pretty much always turn your viewmodels off. It's going to be awkward at first. You won't be used to it and it'll be uncomfortable, but trust me on this one, please. Hide your view models. You'll be a better player for doing it, and you'll thank me 2 weeks from now when it becomes natural to you, and you'll be wondering like how you ever played with view models on. So once you've been doing this for a few hours, you may be tempted to turn the view models back on because it feels so uncomfortable, but please stick to view models off and just try it for like a week before you give up on it. Like, this isn't really even an optional thing. You should not be using view models on these classes. So for soldiers and demo man, view models are optional based on how long you've been playing the game for. If you've been playing for a really long time and you're used to aiming and rocket jumping and moving around with your view models on, then it's perfectly acceptable for you to keep them on. I still recommend that you turn them off if possible, but if you're finding it hard to adjust, don't worry about it and just go ahead and turn them back on. So like I said before, pro players are 50-50 on whether or not you should turn the view models on or off, because view models can be helpful with figuring out where the projectile comes out on your screen and how high you should aim your crosshair. So I can understand if you choose to keep your view models on for soldier and demo man. If you're a brand new player and you're looking to choose between view models on or off, just try both and then, try them off for a week, try view models on for a week, and vice versa. And you're really just looking for comfort here. The same should apply for pyro players as well. Like, pyro is technically hit scan, but you're really a class that's working as a defensive utility role against projectile classes, so I would just go with whatever's most comfortable for you. And then yeah, like I said before, with melee, you're going to want to use the view model on for swing timings. But SLIN, you might ask, I don't understand why you'd use view models for swing timings on your melee, but not for reload timings on your other weapons. Well, the distracting view model hurts more than it helps with your reload timings. For reload timings, I highly suggest that you plug in your headphones, turn up the volume, and listen to the sound of your reloading to help you out. The more you practice, the easier this will become, and it'll get to the point where it's second nature to you. Alright, so before I end this video, let me explain how to turn the view models on or off. Like I said before, if you go into your advanced options under miscellaneous options, you'll want to uncheck the box called Draw View Models. A much easier way to do this is to open up your console and type r_draw view model 0. R_draw view model 1 will turn the view model on, and r_draw view model 0 will turn it off. Of course, if you actually want to be a TF2 pro, you'll use scripts to automatically turn the view models on and off for you. And this right here is an extremely basic script that I wrote for you guys so that you can turn view models on for specific slots and off for other slots. And let me explain how this script works. So what it says here is that when I use the alias weapon1, it will execute this set of commands in console. So when I execute weapon 1, it will pull out the weapon in my first slot and turn the view model off. When I use weapon 2, it will pull out the weapon in my second slot and turn the view model off. When I use weapon 3, it will pull out the weapon in my third slot and turn the view model on. These next 3 commands binds keys 1, 2, and 3 to the weapon commands that I've just created. In practice, it looks like this. I can just run around the map and spam 1, 2, 3, and it'll just pull out different weapons for me. If you want to get really fancy, you can actually tailor the script for each specific class, so that on Scout Medic, I'll turn my view models off, but on Soldier Demo, it'll turn my view models on. Just put the script in the scout.cfg, medic.cfg, soldier.cfg, or demoman.cfg in your custom CFG folder. So yeah, if you want to be a pro, use scripts. They're basically shortcuts that make TF2 so much better for you. And with that said, I'd like to end this video and thank you so much for checking it out. For more educational TF2 videos, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and if you want to see me playing some TF2 live, hop on Twitch and say hello. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you next time.